Do you want to step up your social media marketing efforts? Who doesn't? And that is why I have a special guest with me today. We're going to get into some awesome tips about how to make your social media more effective. I am Tim Fitzpatrick with Rialto Marketing. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I am super excited to have with me today Katie Brinkley from Next Step Social Communications. Katie, welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me, Tim.
Yes, absolutely. So how are you?
I'm doing awesome. It's right now it's summer and it's nice weather. Yesterday we had a cooler summer day, so it was nice to be outside and just enjoy our Colorado, all that Colorado has to offer.
That's it. It's hard to believe our summer's kind of coming to an end here a little bit.
I know, right? As school's gonna be starting soon, and it's I always feel like after my birthday's in July, I always feel like, oh, the countdown's on for school to start.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Well, before we get into it and start talking about social media, tell us a little bit more about what you do at Next Step Social, how you help clients.
Well, we're actually pretty similar to Rialto marketing. We've helped a lot of small businesses establish themselves online and create digital marketing and social media strategies to help them find new customers and create content that will keep their current customers engaged and keep their small business at the forefront of their customers' mind for future buying purchases. What I specialize in is the social media marketing and email campaigns and Facebook and LinkedIn ad campaigns. So the overall strategy for social media, and it's a lot of fun just trying to help small businesses find their voice and create content to keep their clients interested and excited about their company.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. Well, and I know social media, people always have tons of questions around social media. It is very dynamic, as most marketing is these days, but it's always changing and people always have a ton of questions. So I'm super excited to get into this. And I think our first question really is the best place to start, which is, I want to get active on social. What do I do? How do I know which sites are going to be the right ones for my business?
That is one of the biggest questions that I get asked whenever I start working with a new client. And I think that the biggest problem is that a lot of small businesses be on a social media channel, which it's hard to try and find the right channel that makes sense for your company. And that's where I always recommend starting for 30 days and just going on every single channel with a different message, seeing where you get the most response, and then take that 30 days and then focus down like 2 or 3 max. And it's there's no reason that you need to be on every single social media channel. I think a lot of small businesses say, okay, we got to be on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and Pinterest, and YouTube, and it gets overwhelming. And so then they go all in, and then they get tired of it because they're like, oh my gosh, this is way too much work. And then they ghost and just totally disappear. And there's ways that you can be online and have a strong social media presence without, burnout.
Yes. Yeah, I think a lot of people get super excited about it and they bite off more than they can chew. And so I think it is so much easier to find, like you said, that 1, 2, 3 channels max, create a plan that you can follow and just be consistent. I think so many people get into social media thinking, oh, I'm going to build this huge following. And in the beginning, I really don't think that's what it's all about. I tell a lot of businesses it's more laying ground cover, in the beginning, which just helps you establish some credibility. I go to your website, I like what I see. I go to your Facebook page. I don't want to see that the last time you posted was 8 months ago.
Exactly.
So, right. So I see consistent posts, they're active. Okay, cool. I've got a good feeling about this business. That's really, to me, what most small businesses are doing in the beginning. Um,
It That's exactly right. And I think that also, I mean, you have to look at which social media platform makes the most sense.
yeah,
I mean, if there's 3.2 billion people on Facebook. So the odds are pretty high that if you are active on Facebook, your customers are there too.
yeah, agreed.
Instagram is also great, but if you are a store or a business that doesn't have a ton of photography, you can only make so many graphics or use so many stock images on your Instagram feed. People on Instagram want to see more of like the behind the scenes type
Yeah,
of posts, and it's so visual that if you don't have a ton of photography or images that you can put out there, it really doesn't make sense for you to be on it. You have to look at your demographics too. You know, what age group are you more focused on? Are you looking for, millennial teens? TikTok might be great. Are
yeah,
you looking for, the business owners and wanting to have that more B2B type of conversation and sales? LinkedIn is definitely a spot that you need to be.
yeah,
So there's different social media platforms for a reason, and making that's where you have to have a good strategy behind going in on social media before you just kind of go and start randomly posting on every single channel,
yeah.
and just kind of creating a white noise.
Yeah, totally agree. I think the other easy thing for most businesses to do as well is when you're trying to figure out where you need to be to look at your competitors. I mean, you don't have to, I don't have to have a Facebook account to go check out all my competitors' Facebook pages.
Yes, and I was gonna say it's great because if you are on Facebook and you establish yourself as a business page, you can follow 5 of your competitor pages and see how they did with their growth. You can see what posts that they did that did the best over the past 7 days. So if you're like, wow, that video post of a drone over a home site, if you're a home builder,
Yeah,
okay, we needed to go out there and start doing drone videos of each of our models because those do really well on Facebook,
yeah,
or on Facebook and on YouTube. So it's one of those things where Facebook is trying to make it easier for businesses to succeed on their platform. So it's in making ways for your business to follow businesses like yours.
yeah,
So it's a great tool, the Facebook Business Manager, if you want to follow your competitors, see what and the content out there that your audience wants to engage with.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. You definitely need to check out your competitors' pages, which posts are getting shares, engagement, which channels are working for them. I think you've given some great tips as to, how somebody can kind of hone in on that. So once I've made that decision, hey, I'm going to be on Facebook or I'm going to be on LinkedIn, how do I determine, how often should I post? What types of content should I be posting, to really figure out what's my game plan going to be?
Yeah, and I think that that's one of the things where, especially as a small business, you don't need to post every day. Again, don't overwhelm yourself with posting every day and trying to find just something to get out there. I always kind of go by the mini skirt rule, you know, long enough to keep it interesting, and short short
Yeah,
enough, So, but it's one of those things. It's same with social media. Don't be posting every single day if you just have boring content that nobody's going to want to engage with. Keep keep social media as a tool to engage with your clients and your customers, and put out the posts that you would want to see in your feed. So I try and kind of stick by the 3 to 4 posts per week, quality over quantity, and make them 3 or 4 really good posts. Um, Try and kind of think of your posts as one post can be about your business. One, like what this is what your sale of the week is.
yeah,
Talk about yourself. You don't want to have all of your posts for every week, for every day be all about just your business. Hey, buy from us, buy. Nobody wants to be seeing that in their feed every day.
Yeah.
If they do, it's called an ad, and um,
Right.
no one's going to want to engage with it. So try and put out posts and content that is shareable. People want to engage with it. Ask your clients and your audience questions. I mean, if you ask a question on your Facebook page and they answer it, I mean, if you get a ton of response on it, there's a future blog post that you can use on your website, because obviously a lot of people have questions on this topic. So I think that there's, try and do one post a week about sales, one post a week that like poses a question that people will want to engage with, something shareable. Have something about one of your employees. So if it's one of your employees' 10-year anniversary at the company, do a short little employee focus on them, and give people kind of like I like to say, the keys to the back room of your company, because they're going to want to come back and do business with you when they feel like they actually know you. You're not just a computer screen. You're not just a storefront. They know the people that work there. And when they have that sort of connection with you, they're going to want to do business with you.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. The types of posts that we see getting the best engagement are the ones that show that you're not just a company. There's people behind that company. It's social media. You need to be social. You need to show people that you're human.
Yes.
And so those types of posts, hey, we volunteered at the local nonprofit, this weekend, and you got a picture. What's going on with your people? Those types of things tend to do really, really well. I also think video in
Yes.
all its forms
If
does
you,
really
and
well.
that is the thing. If you can do video, that is huge, because you can repurpose it in so many ways.
Yes.
And video gets, especially on Facebook, it gets so much higher ranked in the algorithm, that more people are going to see it, and especially too if you can add captions to it. I know a lot of my clients that I work with, they say, well, I don't want to be in front of the camera. But the thing is with our phones, people are used to this type of selfie,
Yes.
interaction. They're used to just being taken on a tour with a handheld phone. So you don't have to have high quality video equipment and like a production team. If you do, that's fantastic. But I mean, don't overthink things. Give
Right.
people, the stories like, hey guys, it's Katie here at XYZ shop. Just want to let you know that we're having a sale on this beige top today. Come on down and see it. In your Instagram stories, just talking to people.
Yeah.
And it will make a world of difference, because people will see you in their feed and feel like you're talking directly to them. And again, like you said, being social.
Yeah. Absolutely. That is a great lead in to our next question, which is how can we make social more social, right? It's not, if you really want to engage your audience and build a following, you can't just post twice a week, right? So
Yeah.
what do we do to take it up a notch?
Well, and the caption here is perfect. How can you make social media more social? And that is one of the things that is one of the reasons why I enjoy working with small businesses so much, is just teaching them on how to be social on social media. And I think that that's been lost a lot with different businesses and companies,
Yeah.
is that they end up they've turned into the annoying guy at the party that corners you and just talks about himself for 40 minutes, and you're like, okay, so what I do is, and then they turn around and leave the party before you get a chance to even say anything. And
Yes.
that's the way I see a lot of these businesses being online, is they're only talking about themselves. They're not telling you anything about their actual company. They're just trying to sell to you.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be that annoying guy in the room. You don't want to be the guy that only goes and talks about himself. You have to remember that social media is social. How do you want to see posts on your social media feed? Do you want to just be sold to every day? No.
Right.
Create the content that people want to engage with, and make it so that your clients and your customers, your audience, feel like they get to know you, because
Yeah.
that's going to bring them back. That's going to make them want to do business with you when they feel like they know you and what you have to offer.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. The other thing that I think is really effective, it takes time, is, you gotta share other people's stuff.
Yes.
Mention people,
Yes.
make comments on other people's posts. That is how you are then gonna get in front of people.
And it's why you and I are in business, Tim.
Yeah,
I mean, it is a full-time job to do social media the right way. If you can't, like I have people where they just will post something and then they walk away. Don't post and ghost. I mean, you have to spend time on the platform and engage with other, on LinkedIn. You can follow relevant hashtags that relate to your business, and you can go in and comment on other people's posts as your business.
yeah,
And when you comment on it, it's going to show up not only in that person's feed, it's going to show up in their friends' feeds.
yeah,
If you like on Instagram, another platform where they encourage you to be active on their platform. So if you just post a picture on Instagram and then you're like, all right, I'm done for the day, you're not going to, no one's going to see your post. You
no,
have to spend time, and I say at least 10 minutes a day on Instagram, engaging with those relevant hashtags. You have to spend time searching out, people in your feed and commenting on their posts and letting them know, like, hey, yeah, I see you. It is just like going to a party. You have
yeah,
to talk to other people, you have to engage with other people. And if oh yeah, well, I'm at the party, yeah, I met this guy Tim, I'll bring Tim in to come and join our conversation.
yes,
Like you said, tagging other people that are relevant to the post.
yeah.
And it's just going to increase your what's the correct word here,
Your
credibility.
visibility.
Yeah, your credibility, and kind of establish you more as a thought leader, because you're talking about the big overall picture.
Yeah,
And hey, I'm also listening to these other industry leaders on what they have to say, and I think it's so good. I'm going to share it in my feed, even though it's from a competitor,
yeah,
or if it's from a similar type of business. If you establish yourself like, hey, there's other people that have good things to say other than me, people are going to like that, and they're going to want to follow you, do business with you.
I think it also shows confidence too when you do that. It's like, hey, there's plenty of business out there for everybody. Sharing, what we in marketing call curated content, other people's content,
Yep.
to our audience, as long as it's adding value. It's like, hey, we're not the only people putting out content, and this is good content that's valuable. I'm totally okay sharing other people's stuff. So, don't be afraid to do that, because I think it shows confidence. Like, hey, we're not the only game in town, but we're confident enough in our abilities that we're going to share anybody's content as long as it's good.
Exactly. And other people will see that, other businesses will see that, because they'll, oh, well, Rialto marketing is, so confident. They're an industry leader, they're following the latest trends, and they're also sharing it, even though it's a competitor or a similar company, they're sharing that with me because they think it would provide value to me. And
Yeah,
that's, again, it's going back to just trying to make social media more social, providing that type of value. And don't just be talking at someone the whole time that you're on social media. Just keep in mind that it's called social media for a reason. It's supposed to be a two-way street and provide value for your audience.
yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Um, I have a couple other quick questions that I think will add value to people. One, do you have any favorite social media, posting, scheduling tools that you use?
Yeah, I've used a number of them. So I've been doing social media uh, for 4 years now, and had the opportunity to try a number of them. The one that I like the most is a platform called Loomly. It's a scheduler, and it's a great schedule because you can post on, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Google My Business. You can create posts for all of them from a generic post. Then you go down to a fine tuning tool. You can add in the hashtags. You can tag the businesses that you want to tag. You can change out the images if you wanted, a certain image for Facebook and then a different image for Instagram. So it's a great tool for scheduling, and you can see exactly how the post will look on each platform. Loomly is great. I've also used Hootsuite in the past. Hootsuite is great because if you do want to post and ghost, you just want to post and be done with it. It automatically will post to Instagram, where a lot of these other schedulers, it does require you to actually go in. Like on Loomly, it'll send me a notification, and then I have to just copy and paste it into Instagram. But then it requires me to actually be active on Instagram, and it'll increase our rank in the algorithm. So Loomly is a great one. Hootsuite's a great one. I used CoSchedule in the past also, and I've also used Agorapulse. But out of all of those, Loomly is my favorite.
Okay, and how do I spell that? Loom, Loom?
Loomly. Yeah.
Ly.
Loomly.
Okay, so Loomly. Okay, cool. Yeah, the other ones I've used are Buffer and Promo Republic, which are both pretty good. And a lot of these tools are not all that expensive, considering what you get out of them. So I would highly recommend that that people check those out.
It's great too when you do use a scheduler. A lot of people kind of consider it like cheating, but you can build out a whole month and be like, okay, well, I already posted a video this week, and then next week I have 2, and then the following week I have none. Okay, I can move things around so that I have a video going every week. And you can develop a full strategy behind each post. And then it's also great because you get a ton of analytics. You can see what posts did great on likes and comments, when your audience is on, what your growth was, how many impressions you had, what your reach was, what your overall reach and just your paid reach was. So it does give you a lot of insights and tools so that you're not just kind of throwing darts at a wall. You can strategically plan every post and everything that's going out from your company to make sure that, well, if I post on Tuesday nights, even though it's kind of a weird time to post, that's when my audience is on. So that's when I'm going to push that post out.
Yeah. Yeah. So that leads into my last question here, kind of off the cuff. Do you have a lot of people start posting on social and they don't know whether it's really working? Do you have any favorite metrics that are simple that you like to track to try and gauge, hey, is what we're doing actually working?
Yeah, I mean, again, looking at the analytics, my goodness, I'm sorry. Whoops.
No, it's okay.
Looking at the analytics and the metrics help a lot, because then you're not just kind of throwing darts at the wall. You can see what time of day your audience is on, and when you're on Facebook Business, you can track your competitors and see what posts are doing well so that you can replicate them for your audience.
Yeah.
If you're just getting started out, I kind of like to stick with like 3 generic kind of posts just to kind of get started until you really find your voice. And the first one is shareable content. So whether it's something funny or a quote or a motivational quote, that kind of shareable content that people will see in their feed is a great first post of the week, or like a Friday funny that you can just plan on doing every Friday just for the month until you've kind of established your posting schedule.
Got it.
And then I like to do a kind of a website direct. So directing back to your website, whether it be something that you have on sale or a special that you're offering, or if you're talking about a blog or a video like this, like if you like, hey, we just had a new video, click here to watch the full video, having that on there. So that way you have the something that's talking about yourself, something that's not talking about you, that people are going to just want to engage with. And then the last one is kind of like we were talking about, a curated article, just to kind of establish yourself in the conversation that you are listening to what's happening on this topic, It
Yeah.
doesn't need to be a competitor, but I mean, if you're a home builder in California, and there's a big, you could post a mortgage article, or you could post like about the change in the Bay Area real estate now due to coronavirus. A
Yeah.
lot of people are leaving the city, so you could post an article from Forbes on that. So there's just kind of that curated article. That way you have 3 pieces of content right there. And if you're able to put out another piece of content, like I said, a video before, but if you're doing something to sales, like for your other website direct, like, okay, here's our sales special, and then I'm going to do a video too. There's 4 pieces. And as you kind of get going, you'll find like, oh, well, I could talk about this, and oh, I could share that. So you'll start seeing there's more things to share and talk about with your audience.
So once I'm putting those posts out, do you like to look at, reach, engagement as kind of your simple metrics initially?
Yeah, I think that so there's reach, there's impressions, and there's engagement. And engagement is, like, comment, share on Instagram, save.
Yeah.
And that's where you can kind of be like, wow, this post did awesome. Look, it got like 20,000 impressions. But
Right.
wait a second, it only had 100 likes. So did it really do that good? It's a lot of people saw it, but not that many people wanted to engage with it. So I
Right.
always try and kind of go off of the like, for on Facebook, there's video views, and that's a great metric because now people might watch your full video, but they might not actually go and hit the like button.
Yeah.
So that's where each platform, there's different things to measure. If you're putting out a video, I watch the video views. If you're on Instagram, it's best to look at the saves, how many people have saved your content,
Got it.
because that pushes you up higher in the algorithm if people save your content. On Instagram too, you just, trick of the trade, you want to respond to every single comment that people leave on your pictures or your posts, because again, it's going to put you up higher in the Instagram algorithm. And then on Facebook, if you're just posting a regular post, a shared article, I go off of link clicks to see how many people have clicked on the link. Unfortunately, this is kind of going down a rabbit hole here, but Facebook business pages, they are the lowest spot on the Facebook algorithm. So you can't judge yourself too much on what your impressions and your reach are. The
Yeah.
best way that more people are going to see your content from your business page are if people engage with them. So that's where, again, putting out that shareable content
Yeah.
is so important, because you might not appear, if you have 100 followers, you're only being shown to like 1 to 3% of your follower base. And if your followers, the 3 people that see it, they all like it, then Facebook, oh, people like this, I'm gonna show it to more,
Yeah.
so
Got it.
it's one of those things where you just need to each platform and each piece of content that you're putting out, it depends on what to measure. I think overall, you want to try and put out engaging content, because it will just help you in each platform's algorithm.
Yeah. Got it. Cool. That's awesome. Katie, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Given a lot of really good information here. Where can people learn more about you?
Awesome. Yeah. They can find me online on LinkedIn. Yep, it's right down here, linkedin.com/Katie Brinkley. That's a great way to connect with me directly. And then my website is nextstepsocialcommunications.com. And we're putting out different content on there weekly. Or you can listen to my podcast, and that is Rocky Mountain Marketing, and it's available on just about all the podcast platforms. So if you just ask Siri or Alexa to play the latest episode, it should populate no problem.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. For those of you that were tuning in, listening, watching, thank you for being here. Again, I am Tim Fitzpatrick with Rialto Marketing. If you want to gain clarity on where to focus your marketing efforts right now, head on over to our website and just click on the Get a Free Consultation button. So that rialtomarketing.com, RIALTO marketing.com. I guarantee you will get a ton of value from that consult, and you will know exactly where you need to focus your marketing efforts right now. Remember, marketing your business shouldn't be a challenge. All you need is a plan, Till next time, take care.